I'm Matt McNally, I'm 24, I live in Chicago, Illinois, and I have a Boston Scientific S-ICD.
There's been a long history in my husband's side of the family where people died fairly young of unknown heart problems, and we never really knew what that was about.
In a conversation with my niece, we were talking about my sister that had passed away, and she brought up that my sister had prolonged QT, and she had never heard of it. And I really didn't know at that time what it was, and she said it involved the heart.
We had Jim checked for long QT, and it was discovered that he did have that, and they immediately suggested that we have Matt tested due to his age.
I actually got a phone call from my mom. She told me to sit down, not worry about anything. She had found out that my dad actually had factor V Leiden and long QT, and not to worry. So I went in, got some blood work done, and unfortunately I found out I did have both of them.
When I found out my son had prolonged QT, I was thinking of the relatives that we have buried in the past at very young ages, and it literally scared the hell out of me.
Once we learned that Matt's tests were positive, we immediately started doing research, checking the web, checking with cardiologists to see who we needed to see to find the quickest solution to this situation.
The cardiologist told me that I did need a defibrillator to deal with the long QT to make sure that I wasn't at any kind of a high risk. With that though, they also gave me this great option of the S-ICD. It actually caused me to have an implant that I could actually have that didn't go into the veins, which would cause me to have a blood clot issue with the factor V Leiden.
The specter of the S-ICD as a treatment option for sudden cardiac death patients ranks as the most groundbreaking thing that I've seen in the last 20 years plus of being a cardiologist. The subcutaneous device places a small electrode underneath the skin and then tunnels it to a place where a very traditional type of ICD pulse generator is located. And then these two components work together to actually monitor the heart 24/7 and deliver a shock should it be necessary.
I was nervous going into the surgery. We all were. But the biggest thing was that Matt would not be a statistic in the family if he had this done. Immediately after the surgery, I was surprised. He was sitting up, talking, looking for something to eat, joking around with the nurse, telling us stories how he ran into a friend in recovery. So it was, I think we were all very ecstatic right after the surgery.
The recovery process for the S-ICD wasn't too bad at all. I actually was able to take about 2 weeks off of work. I recovered quite nicely. There was a little bit of pain and discomfort in the swelling from the stitches, but besides that, it wasn't too bad overall.
My son having a defibrillator, it gives us a little peace of mind knowing that we did what we could, to give him an opportunity, to have a healthier, longer life.
The defibrillator hasn't really affected my life in any major way. It's just become kind of there for me. I work in the fashion industry doing visual merchandising. I set up a store and take down all the displays, and especially working on the windows. And when I do have free time, I like to spend it with either hanging out with my friends or with my new dog Dexter.
Knowing that Matt has the device, I sleep better at night. I only worry about the things that normal moms worry about.
I know having the S-ICD definitely has impacted my family. So I know going through with the surgery and having it I know puts ease to my mother's mind especially. Not that my dad doesn't, but I know my mom would be a nutcase if she knew that I didn't have this in.
Since Matt had the device implanted, 4 more members of the family have had the S-ICD device implanted. It's amazing how many people in our family it's impacted. And it definitely is helping to prevent future deaths in the family.
Well, the people of Boston Scientific, I'd like to give them a heartfelt thanks for creating a device like this. It gives me an opportunity to enjoy my son and the rest of my family, to be able to grow old together and enjoy life as a family.
I just want to say thank you to all the people at Boston Scientific. It's been wonderful having one of your devices, and just having that security blanket for me means the world to me and my family, and I just hope that you all know that you've impacted our lives that much.